What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin with Optimized Essentials, and in today's video I'm going to share with you some easy and effective stretches you can do in a chair, at your desk, pretty much anytime you are sitting with a platform, all right? So if you're someone who sits a lot, you're always in front of your desk, or you just have a sedentary lifestyle, or your job is mostly sedentary, then these stretches are something you definitely want to incorporate in your routine, and there are no excuses for not doing these because you can do them anywhere, all right? So let's get right into it. Let's not waste time and ramble on like I always do. If you guys haven't noticed, my little office currently until I have my dreams manifest. But anyways, the very first stretch we're gonna get into is the hamstring stretch, all right? I shifted my chair so you can see me better. So the very first thing you wanna do, you wanna sit at the edge of your chair. You wanna take your heels, plant them straight down, point your toes up towards you, stick your butt out, and then lean forward and really press into it, all right? Take a deep breath. And try to get your head to your toes, all right? Try to get as close as possible, really stretching out. You might even want to add some rotation into it and go to the other side, playing around with the angle. The stretches I'm going to share with you guys today is going to attack your whole body, so you're going to love this, all right? So the very first thing is hamstrings, legs, and we're going to move our way up. Now, after you're done, switch sides, do the same exact thing. Subsequently, you could probably even be creative and stretch it with your feet up on the desk, right? If people are asking you, what are you doing? Putting my feet up on my desk and stretching my hamstrings. Literally made that one up on the spot. And then the second exercise you want to attack is your quad. So usually one or the two gets tight depending on what type of pelvic structure you have, right? Some people who sit a lot, they might get a posterior pelvic tilt where their butt is tucked under. Some people who sit a lot, they might have an anterior tilt where their butt is stuck out and their quads get tight. So see which one calls out to you most. Personally, for me, my quads get a lot more tight than my hamstrings, so a great way to stretch out your quads at the desk is to put your foot up and knee directly underneath. And from this position, if it's too much, you can always support yourself with your hands on the desk first. So hold onto the desk, put your foot down onto the chair, and then slowly lower yourself. And then if it's too much, just press down on your elbows and just lift yourself up while simultaneously squeezing your butt, all right? This is unsqueezed, this is squeezed. Unsqueeze, squeeze. What happens is, because the glutes are an antagonist to your hip flexors, when you squeeze them, it's gonna rip open your hip flexors a little bit more. And then when you squeeze, what I like to do is I like to rotate around, play around with the position, and then really breathe into it as I'm twisting. So I'm twisting this way, breathing into it. I might even rotate back this way and just open up all of my hips. And then from this position, if you don't feel it too much, you can always lean open this way. So this is my left leg, I'm leaning and twisting my body to the right. And then eventually you want to be so progressed or advanced in this stretch that you can lean your heel all the way to your butt, all right? Or lean your butt all the way to your heel and just lean back, just like this. And breathe into it. Most of the time, most of you guys getting into this stretch are going to look like this, where your hips are flexed forward and it's like, this is too painful, I can't do this. Oh. But after a while, you'll be able to open up, release, release, release until you can get all the way back. So far we've attacked our hamstrings, our quads. Now we're going to get into our lateral rotators, okay? So this is going to be amazing if you have sciatica or kind of piriformis issues, because this is going to help stretch out your lateral rotators that get compressed when we sit a lot. So if you have really tight glutes, this is going to be amazing, all right? It's called the figure 4 stretch. And it stretches out your piriformis, your lateral rotators. And to do this, you cross your leg, and then you pop your chest up, and then I want you to lean into the knee, all right? So lean forward into the knee. Play around with the angle. You might want to lean to the left side of the knee, to the front side of the knee, and then to the opposite of the knee, all right? So whichever side you feel the most in, stretch and breathe into it. You want to really take your time, feel it. Don't just rush through your stretches and bob into it. You want to breathe deeply, exhaling and inhaling into it, really closing your eyes, feeling where you're feeling it. And then to progress this stretch, what I like to do is I like to take my hand, I push down on my knee, and it really opens up that capsule. And sometimes it might even pop. And then to really make it more advanced. You wiggle around, find whichever one calls out to you and just press into it, all right? Do the same thing on both sides and really stretch, open up, breathe, lean around. What I like to do as I'm stretching is I like to play around with the ranges of motion. I like to move my body and then find something that calls out to me and then breathe into it, all right? So that's the third stretch. Now, let's get into stretching our upper body, okay? So after we've stretched out our hips, our quads, our hamstrings, what I like to do is I like to get down on my knees. Oh yeah, baby! Get down on my knees, take my hands, and then press backwards, all right? Press my hips towards my heels and just really open up. And then breathe into my spine. So what this is doing is it's opening and elongating your thoracic spine. It's opening up your shoulder blades. Good for shoulder mobility. So this is a great way to really pull into it. So what I like to do in this position is I like to take my head and I very gently pull it forward, so I'm trying to elongate my cervical spine as well. And then you can do some cat-cows in this position to really feel and open up your vertebrae. So what you want to do is you want to inhale, exhale, exhale. And just hold into this spot and just really breathe into it, all right? And then after this is done, what I like to add next is a rotation for your thoracic spine. This is going to be amazing if you have any side-to-side imbalances or you're having a rotational tightness. You're going to feel this one a lot. So what you do is you sit at the edge of your chair once again, and then you take your hand, so this is my right hand, and I'm going to take my right elbow into my right groin, all right, closer to my knee. I'm going to take it there, and I'm just going to anchor it right in my right knee. And then from here, I'm going to take my right hand, and I'm going to grab my left foot, all right? So in this position, right elbow, right knee, right hand, left leg, all right, left foot. And I'm going to take my head, and I'll place it down towards the opposite side. So if I'm trying to use my right arm, I'm going to look towards my left, not the opposite way, okay? Do not look towards that way. So place your head down on the table, and then what you want to do is you want to inhale, and then raise your left hand up towards the sky. So make sure your thumb is pointing in the opposite direction. You're going to feel a deep stretch against your sides. So you want to breathe into this about 20 to 30 seconds, maybe even a minute, depending on how tight you feel. And then you want to switch sides, same thing. So left elbow, left knee, grabbing onto my right foot, and then I'm going to breathe in and rotate up. You might notice that one side is tighter than the other, and if you do notice that, then props to you. Good awareness. This is normal because a lot of us have rotational bias. Sometimes our body might be rotated to the left, might be rotated to the right, and when you're stretching these muscles out, you're going to unwind some of that torque your body experiences, right? That's one of my favorite. But the last and final, most favorite stretch that I like to do all the time, whenever I'm sitting, there's not really a name for it. I'm going to invent a name for it right now. It's called external extension, all right? External extension. The reason why, it's best to have a chair that folds or something where you can grab onto the handle, because I'm going to show you what this looks like. So the external rotation is like this, all right? Before you even do it though, you want to set yourself up. You want to elongate your vertebrae in the spine by taking your hands, pushing your shoulder blades up, and then imagine there's like a weight tied to your pelvis and it's pulling your spine down. So you're just trying to really wiggle and open up the segments of your spine. You want to open up the vertebrae in your spine by pushing up on the chair and then letting your pelvis kind of sag and pull you down. That allows your spine to get as straight as possible. And then from this position, you'll see why I named it the external extension. So you're going to take your arms, you're going to externally rotate it, all right? So this is internal rotation. So when we're sitting and using our computers, our body is slightly internally rotated. You're going to externally rotate, and then you're going to take your hands, you're going to pull externally rotated. You're going to keep them externally rotated on the handle, and then I'm going to pull my shoulder blades down, and then try to take my neck and I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to extend my body, so externally rotate, extend, and then really take my neck and try to lift it up off the ceiling, all right, to the sky, I mean, like this. And then I'm trying to pull my head forward, and then instantly, pop, 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 pop. I feel some cracks in my thoracic spine, in my cervical spine, and this feels amazing. Oh yeah. So you guys gotta really try this one. This really opens up and reverses all that internal rotation we got. I don't know how I invented this, but it feels amazing, all right? So what you wanna do, again, push up on the chair, straighten up your spine as much as you can. So what I'm doing, it's like I'm trying to suck my belly button in, scoop my upper spine with my lower spine. I'm trying to separate them. And then from that position, I'm maintaining it so that it's as straight as possible. I'm taking my hands, pulling, externally rotating, and then pulling my head forward or pulling it up so that I can pop the rest of it. And guys, that's all of these stretches that I have shared, that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let me know down below how you enjoyed these stretches, which ones were your most favorite ones. And if you have any questions or any videos any video ideas that you want me to cover, feel free to leave them down below or shoot me a message. I'll be happy to make some videos for you guys. And yeah, stay tuned for more, guys. Hope you like that.